Hello and welcome to Frank's School. Roger the Cat's here to help me today. I hope he's not a nuisance. He must like Handel's music. All right, the 67th second day of the fourth year, I'm going on with discussion, guided viewing, if you will, of Handel's Messiah. Part two. I'm going to skip part two almost completely. And I'm doing that because most of it is usually skipped in a Christmas performance. And it annoys me. If you can find the entire work being performed places, but usually around the world, the first part, they even talk about a Christmas Messiah, and I think it's published as such, a Christmas Messiah. It leaves this out. The subject is Christ's Passion. It's quite different, of course. It lengthens the concert by 45 minutes or so if you include it. There are 7 scenes. These are movements 22 through 44. And some of these are used. One of the things that bugs me about this is that there are wonderful choruses in this section. Just wonderful choruses. It's more choral, I actually think, than the first part and the third part. There's so many choruses, one right after the other, and they're wonderful. But sometimes a community will pull out choruses that are fairly easy to do. Lift up your heads, O ye gates, for example. Oh, we like sheep is not easy, but still it's just so delightful. They'll sometimes pull them out. But I would really rather that they did the whole thing. I should say, too, that is sort of not exactly a protest, but a celebration, really. 250 years to the day, I think it was to the day, after this was first performed in Dublin. It was 1992. I had my choir do part 2. This would be just around Easter time, which is when it was really performed originally. And we did part 2. We did it a cappella, except for the arias and the recitatives. Those were accompanied on piano. But the choir did it a cappella, and it can be done. Maybe when I get to the end of this whole thing, I'll talk more about the singing of these choruses a cappella. Well, in any case, the last one, number 44, Hallelujah, is always included. It's one of the most recognizable pieces of choral music in the world, certainly in the English-speaking world. And I'll get to that in a moment. But I have found where this was originally put on YouTube, and I've found where it's performed. Here's the composer, Václav Lux. I don't know how to say his name. I think he and the choir are, I think they're Czechoslovakian. I looked it up, but I forget now. This is the name of the group, Collegium and Collegium Vocale. Here's the church. I'll try to say it, La Petite Saint-Robert de la Chidieu. It's French. It's being performed in southern France. It was performed on the 21st of August 2011, and it was first put on YouTube by this channel, La Casa di Davide. Well, this looks like it's in Italian. February 19th, 2014, so it hasn't been online quite for a year. There are lots of comments, and there are lots of views, which is the way it should be. I just found this first through another channel that had just only recently sort of quoted this. But there's the original publication, and it's going to look the same to you, but I'll give that link now from now on. All right, the Hallelujah Chorus. The tempo is very lively. One of the comments complains that it's too fast. They do it as an encore at the end, and the commentator that made the comment says in the encore especially, it's just too fast. Not for me. Not for me. I even added, now we can have a little bit of a discussion, and I even went on to say they were excited. They had just done a wonderful job, and it was an encore. And forgive them if they went even faster, but it is very fast indeed. If you there's the first hour, 35th minute, 50th second. That's where the Hallelujah Chorus begins. At the end, there is applause. The audience is quiet for the rest of the concert, except for at the very end, I think. When you look at the audience, the camera shows the audience, they appear to be sitting. Well, there's a tradition that people stand during the Hallelujah Chorus, and that tradition goes two ways. One, this was George the Second, I think, King George the Second of England. One is that he was so moved by the music that he just stood up, and when the king stands up, well, everyone stands up. There's another opinion that actually he was so tired of sitting that he had to stand up, and so the king stood up and everybody stood up. But in any case, there is that tradition, not always observed, and apparently not in this case. If you'll listen, the choir does trill on the word ever. each of the voices, each of the parts trills when it comes to ever. And of course, in a choir like this, there is no flatting. The sopranos do not flat as they go up. In amateur versions, this can just be an agony as you hear the sopranos go higher and higher and have to sustain that note. Oh, there's always some in there, bless their hearts, really. I mean, they're wanting to sing it and they love it, but really their voices can't quite do that, and you hear them struggling with it. Well, there's none of that here. I hope you get joy from hearing this fairly short part today, and then tomorrow we'll go on with part 3. Bye for now.